That's her baby. Now she keeps asking me where she at, and I don't know what to tell her.
This is the story of Krystal Anderson, a 30-year-old mother of 4 children who was described as a great friend, sister and mom. She loved dancing and making TikTok videos, and most of all, she loved spending time with her 4 children. However, beneath the surface, Krystal was living in fear for her safety and the safety of her loved ones, while suffering from domestic abuse at the hands of her boyfriend, Tony Berry. Tragically, one fateful night, Krystal disappeared. And what would be revealed surrounding her disappearance would devastate her family and all of those who knew and loved her. Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to Wagoner, South Carolina. Wagoner is a small town located in Aiken County, South Carolina, United States. The town has several parks and recreational areas. Overall, Wagoner is a quiet, charming town with a strong sense of community and a rich history. 30-year-old Krystal Anderson was a makeup and hairstylist, as well as a social media influencer.
I just went live and I did not end my live. TikTok actually did it themselves. Like, I didn't do nothing wrong. Like, why did you blame me, TikTok? And I can't go live until the 22nd. Why? I didn't do nothing wrong. Why?
She would often post videos dancing alone or with her kids on TikTok. She comes from a big family. She has 17 siblings and 4 children. She was in a relationship with 48-year-old Tony Berry. The relationship was reportedly abusive, and Krystal would leave the relationship several times and always return, allegedly due to fear that Tony would harm her or her family. Despite Krystal's personal struggles, Krystal tried her best to keep her spirits high and continue making fun videos, all the while hiding the pain and trauma she was experiencing. Krystal loved posting on her social media, but all of a sudden, she stopped posting and no one had heard from her. Krystal was last seen on August 20, 2022, at her Wagoner, South Carolina home. 3 days later, on Tuesday, August 23, Krystal's sister, Shadira, said that she received a troubling phone call from one of Krystal's baby fathers, informing her that Sunday, Krystal had neglected to pick up their son from his residence, and he had not heard from her the next day, on Monday going into Tuesday. Shadira became concerned right away since she knew Krystal wouldn't be late to pick up her kids. Shadira immediately called Krystal's live-in boyfriend, Tony Berry, and also the father to her 7-year-old son. He said he hadn't seen Krystal since Saturday at 1 o'clock in the morning. Shadira asked him why he didn't report her missing. He said he planned to do just that. He said, "I kept the children home from school today because I was going to report it today." Krystal's sister warned him that if he didn't report her missing, she would. And she never heard from Tony again. The family reported Krystal missing and made it clear to authorities that she would never disappear without her children. Tony later went to the Wagoner Police Department and reported Krystal missing. Shadira last spoke to her sister Krystal about a week before she disappeared. Shadira believes it could have been a domestic violence situation between her sister and her boyfriend because there has been a history of domestic violence in that relationship, and that was one of the reasons why she had removed herself from that relationship. "My sister was hurting and used social media as an outlet for her pain and a platform for help. She was so scared and tried many times to leave. Myself, family, and friends tried to help her, but he kept coming to get her by threatening my mom's life and other people she loved. That's why she kept going back. She is selfless and put her life on the line to avoid others from being hurt. This man was demonic. We found candles he burned that says 'Do as I say,' and it had her name and birthday on the candles. He is the devil and need to burn in hell. Turn this man in and please help bring Krystal home. #Bring Krystal home." Family and friends came together and held a prayer vigil for Krystal.
The family of a Midlands woman pleading for answers tonight after she went missing from her Aiken County home. Krystal Anderson, a Columbia native, disappeared 2 weeks ago on August 20th. As the investigation continues, they're hoping the public can help bring her home safely. A plea for answers.
You need to speak up.
The family of Krystal Anderson says her disappearance has been an emotional roller coaster as the days searching turned to weeks. Shadira Smothers is her sister.
We are going to bring Krystal home, and her story is going to be a testimony to help other women.
On Saturday, they gathered in prayer, lighting candles for the Columbia mother of four and C.A. Johnson High School graduate.
She was very responsible. She was a good mother, a good friend to those who know her.
They say Anderson had only recently moved to Aiken County when she disappeared from her Wagner home on August 20th. Shonja Cleveland is a private investigator.
I want everyone to know from Columbia to Wagner, and we've gotten some very good leads to keep those leads coming.
He was with him at her home. He came to her home, and he spoke with one of the kids, and he asked her, was there a man here or something? And the child said yes. They began to argue. She walked outside to leave. He followed her. Then there was a scream. And one of her kids say he looked out the window and saw him putting her in the trunk.
News 19 reached out to the Aiken County Sheriff's Office, which is leading the investigation, for more details. The office said in a statement, "We cannot confirm anything at this time. We are actively working this case and all leads."
This is why it's so important that if anyone knows anything, to say something, no matter how small it is.
This right here, the outcome, we're going to save lives afterwards, and we're going to help other families that have experienced what we've gone through.
The police started an investigation into Krystal's disappearance. They spoke to several people. When they spoke to Krystal's boyfriend, Tony, he stated she had not been at the residence since Sunday and had left the children with him. He told the police that he didn't report her missing because she disappears often. Police spoke with Krystal's mother, Wanda Sumter, about the missing person report. She informed authorities that Krystal's disappearance was very irregular behavior and that she usually has daily contact with Wanda or other family members. Wanda was very concerned about her daughter due to prior history of violence with Krystal and her boyfriend Tony. During the police investigation into Krystal's disappearance, they spoke with neighbors to see if they heard or saw anything the day of Krystal's disappearance. Witnesses told police that they heard Tony and Krystal arguing verbally on August 20, 2022, and they also saw him force Krystal in the trunk of his 2007 Cadillac CTS. The identical car was discovered burned in Newberry County, South Carolina. Investigators think Tony was nearby when the car was set on fire based on the location history of his cell phone. An investigation into Tony revealed that he bought a package of garbage bags, a shovel, plastic coveralls, gloves, and many things that might be utilized to help in the disposal of human remains. Evidence also shows that Tony researched how to carry out this crime and leave no evidence. The family was frustrated that Tony had not been arrested in connection with Krystal's disappearance. Shadira posted on her Facebook. So apparently it's not against the law to kidnap someone, black, and put them in the trunk of a car, and it's also not against the law to set your vehicle on fire. Just say you were in a crack house and your car was stolen. 29 days later and my sister Krystal Chanel is still missing. She was heard screaming while being put in the trunk of Tony Berry's car, witnessed by her 9-year-old son. Aiken County Sheriff's Office was very insensitive and uncaring about my sister's disappearance from the very beginning and totally disregarded our family's cries for help. Even still, they don't have this man picture on the news. They are not even looking for this man or considering him a person of interest, even after finding his vehicle that was set on fire. However, if my sister was a white woman, there would be all kind of warrants for his arrest, and his face would have been on every news station as a wanted man. There would be all kind of manhunts and cadaver dogs looking for him and my missing sister if she was a white woman. This man is dangerous and have hurt several women. He is demonic and practices demonic rituals. He needs to be found ASAP. It's sad that a hurting family have to do law enforcement's job. The only way we are going to find my missing sister is to find the evil man who took her away from us. Please share, I need this man picture everywhere. Someone please come forward. A $10,000 reward for anyone that can lead us to my sister. I'm not giving up until I find my sister. After over a month-long investigation, police obtained an arrest warrant for Krystal's boyfriend, and after receiving a tip about his whereabouts, they arrested him on Tuesday, September 28, and charged him with kidnapping. Investigators believe that now that Tony is behind bars, maybe more people will be free to talk about him. They spoke with people who were previous victims of Tony, and those people were horrified of him and refused to put their names out there of incidents that have been tied to him. The family was watching the news and found out that Krystal's boyfriend had been arrested. The family was relieved to find out there was an arrest in the case, but has been frustrated with the lack of communication with the family throughout the investigation. They said the Aiken County Sheriff's Department never reached out to them throughout the investigation, never offered any comfort or empathy, and didn't even notify them of an arrest. They had to find out by watching the news. 3 months later, on December 13, 2022, Tony Berry was charged with Krystal's murder. Police also arrested Tony Lee Berry's 23-year-old son, Darius Berry, on December 15 and charged him with accessory after the fact in the disappearance and murder of Krystal Anderson. Cell phone data and records put Tony Lee Berry and his son Darius at the scene in Newberry County, South Carolina, where Krystal's boyfriend Tony's vehicle was found burned. Investigators in the case believe between 2:40 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. on August 28, Darius Berry knowingly assisted his father with the destruction of evidence pertaining to the crime of murder and the destruction of a 2007 Cadillac CTS, which is believed to have contained evidence related to Krystal's murder.
The family of a missing Aiken County mom is speaking for the first time after a series of updates in the case over the last few days. Now this week, charges were upgraded against Krystal's boyfriend, Tony Berry. He was originally charged with kidnapping, but on Tuesday, a murder charge was added. Then yesterday, deputies arrested another suspect in connection to her murder. Darius Berry is charged with accessory after the fact to murder. Krystal Anderson's family confirms Darius is Tony's son. In the last hour, we've learned new information about what police believe is his connection to the case. Arrest warrants say Darius Berry helped his dad burn a car they believe is connected to Krystal's murder. The documents also say they think Tony and Darius worked together to conceal information about the case. Darius's bond is set at $20,000. His father is being held without bond. An arrest warrant for Tony shows what authorities believe what happened to Krystal Anderson in Augusta. First, authorities believe she was killed on August 20th off of Severn Road in Wagner. Witnesses say they saw Tony place her inside the trunk of a Cadillac after a verbal argument. The investigation found later he made a series of purchases that could be used to get rid of human remains, such as a shovel, plastic coveralls, and a box of trash bags. Authorities say additional evidence showed he researched how to carry out the crime. Anderson's sister says it's been a hard week.
I just feel like the system failed me. I feel like I don't know if we would have been able to save Krystal's life because I don't know how soon everything happened. But I do believe that we would have gotten closure a lot sooner.
Darius and Tony Berry are currently being held in the Aiken County Detention Center. Tony Berry has no bond, while his son Darius Berry has a $20,000 bond. Shadira's family still does not know where Krystal is. They have taken the search into their own hands. They've been everywhere, in swamps, looking in woods, cemeteries, trying to look for shallow graves. But there has been no sign of Krystal. Not knowing Krystal's whereabouts is especially devastating for her children who constantly ask where their mother is. What Tony Berry is accused of doing, kidnapping the mother of his child and taking her life, and recruiting his own son to help cover up the crime, is unimaginable. How could someone hurt someone they were in a relationship with who is also the mother of their 7-year-old child? Krystal did not deserve this, and now 4 kids are without their mother. Reportedly, the children have been split up and sent to the homes of their fathers. He has not only destroyed his life, but has affected so many others. My condolences to Krystal's friends and family. I pray you find Krystal and get some sense of closure. May you continue to heal from your pain. Krystal's family is offering a $10,000 reward for any information that leads to her whereabouts. Krystal is 5'1", 105 pounds with black hair and green eyes. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Aiken County Sheriff's Office at 803-642-1761. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video.